Welcome to another episode of Hello Again Wednesday with Brent Miller. Each Wednesday you can join in as his special guest. Answer along with question of the day. Listen to life's stories. Follow him on Spotify or your favorite podcast platform. On Facebook. Or his YouTube channel, Brent Miller, What's on His Mind. This week's episode 190. Wild Animal Story. And now,
all right, it is Hello Again Wednesday, episode number 190, and it is Wild Animal Story. And so I just want to thank you for joining me this week for another Hello Again Wednesday episode. And you guys are always know this. You are my guest. I would love to do a live show with someone as an actual guest on the show. If anyone is willing to want to take on that endeavor with me, that would be great, and we will work that out. But always, you're my guest, and thank you for watching over and over again. And please continue to share these videos with family and friends. Post it to your little platforms that you got. That would be great too. You have my permission to do all of that. And so I'm just glad that you are here today. Let's see. I actually almost took this Wednesday off. I was, anyways. Well, let me do the question of the day first. Question of the day. What is your wild animal encounter? What is your wild animal encounter? For me, I love doing this show. I try to make sure that it doesn't take up any extra time away from some of my other duties and stuff that I have, such as other church and AMC and home and stuff like that. And so I try to keep that at this is like a hobby. It's something fun for me to do. I hope you guys enjoy it every time. And sometimes I'll just take this Wednesday off. That was my thought for a moment. And reason is it does really take, it takes a lot really nowadays to do a full episode. And some weeks are harder than others to even come up with those, the random off the wall topics I'm always having. And some weeks are harder than others. This one, I usually do it days in advance in the planning process, jotting down my notes and all that stuff. And I think it was in the middle of the night. I actually had a nightmare. And so I woke up in the middle of the night. If you want to know my nightmare was this, ready? My back's been kind of hurting. And I think that's the subconscious thing that leads to some of my nightmares, I would say. And I actually dreamed that I went to my neurosurgeon, like I really am supposed to go back to him to get off some restrictions and have a take some x-rays and stuff to look at how things are going. I haven't done it yet. I need to, but I had a nightmare that when I went there, they immediately put me in the hospital to cut me open to fix whatever was wrong with me. And that was not a happy dream. Anyways, and so after waking up, then I'm starting to think, man, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And then it hit me with a wild animal story, because it happened. I mean, even though it takes a lot of times to come up with the topic and actually lay out the opening little intro and outro, so that you can get an idea kind of what's happening and stuff like that. You know what? It does take a lot of time. And so actually, it wasn't in the middle of the night. It was, I had to think through what I'm thinking here. It was, you know what, this morning, Elijah was getting ready to take a school trip and with the kids to a place that none of us in our family have ever been to, except Connie. She's been wanting to go there probably for the 15 years that we've been here. She's wanted to go to this place, and now Elijah's getting to go. And just on a side note, it took me 13 years because she had always wanted to go see the redwoods. We went up to San Francisco, and we crossed the bay over by Oakland, and there was a little patch of redwoods, and it was still interesting. We loved it. We saw it twice, and but she really wanted to go to the forest, the redwood forest, and so 13 years later, excuse me, yeah, yeah, well, yeah, 13 years later, because it was 2 years ago, I think we went up, and I took her to the redwood forest, and we did that one twice with Lauren and stuff like that. Connie and them did it. Connie got to do it twice, and so just some beautiful stuff. Actually, it was probably more than twice because me and her went through. Then we took Boomer through. Then Connie took Lauren through, and so she has probably gotten her fill of the redwood forest that she has enjoyed. And so that was when we were taking him for like his, I think it was his final year of college up there by San Francisco, way up past San Francisco, I should say, in Northern California. Okay. And so then I began to wonder as Elijah was going to this place that Connie wanted to go to, I began to think, not because there's wild animals over there, there probably is, but I was wondering, would the kids see a wild animal on this little getaway that they're taking with their school? And so knowing Elijah, he would think, oh, that would be really cool to see a wild animal. Me, I would see it more as an opportunity of for terrifying stories to scare middle school friends of mine that if I was going at that age, or even to scare girls. That would be my goal as one who is doing seeing the wild animal where Elijah is at today. And so that's what I would be doing. That's just me. So then I began to then think some more about, after that thought process of Elijah and a wild animal and terrified kids, I thought, and I remember there were times camping where I saw a wild animal while camping in the middle of the night myself. So it was in the middle of the night, and we're at Camp Warren, and I get out of the cabin and cross the grass to the restrooms, which were across the field. And I see, and it would have been over by swing because they took all this stuff down. It would have been, and it's gone, but it would have been by the swings and a tetherball court. And I saw this thing kind of walking around there. And it was, I didn't think that I went to the restroom. I came back and it was gone because I looked around. It was gone around the corner of the building. It was gone. And I thought to myself, that's no longer funny. And I began to run. I say, oh no, run in my head, and run across the grass to get into the cabin as fast as what I can because I had an idea, but I was unsure. But it was a bobcat roaming the area. And so I know that I got scared because back in those days it was due to horror films and stuff like that, and it would get my mind racing, and so I could scare myself. And so it's not funny when it was then, and it's not funny really now, but it was a bobcat roaming those campgrounds in Illinois. And so I don't forget, because I didn't write this in my notes, I don't know, months ago, I think it was me and Elijah. I might have called the kids out because I pull in, and as I pull in, I see some people, and I think I told this story one other time, where they're dog walkers, and they started to manipulate around another dog. And this happens all the time, especially, but this was a dog with no owner. And as it goes trotting by across the street, I'm in the driveway, and it goes trotting by across the street, and I go, oh, that's not a dog. That's a coyote, a wild coyote. Yes, we live in the big city of LA, and even on our far west side of LA, it's still suburbs and hardly any grass anywhere, and yet we have wild coyotes roaming our neighborhood. And so I haven't heard of any coyotes eating any dogs or anything like that, but I think Thor and Luna would both give them a run for their money. But they they are roaming our neighborhood as seeing wild animals. That's another one of my wild animal stories that I saw. Now, here's the initial story of my wild, well, besides Bobcat. Every fall when we head up to the apple orchards, there's a whole, like 5 or 6 of them on this one road that goes up into the mountain and then comes back down. And so we make our drive up to the apple orchard, and every time we get to the base of the mountain, we begin to look for wild animals because we've seen them in the past. And so the thing is, ready, our wild animals that we're looking for are more the Bambi style. And so they're, yes, it is the deers, they're grazing. It's really weird. It's like in the middle of the morning, almost, toward that 10 o'clock time frame. And they're still out just eating apples or whatever, and grazing in the fields. And so it's still a cool sight to see them because there's like 5 or 6 at a time, and you're seeing them in the wild nature, not in a zoo or anything like that. And so it's kind of cool to see it like that. Okay. Now, in fact, okay, during those trips up the mountain, okay, it's when we see the wild Bambi animals, and so there's only 2 times where the family in the van asks me to slow down. It's when we see the wild animals and stuff like that, or we're looking at some of the apple trees, seeing how the season had gone and stuff like that, and or especially a fire one year and a bad crop of apples this year. And so we're always looking around and stuff. So we slow down at certain sections. The other time that they really asked me to slow down on this apple orchard drive is because I do go a little fast, and they hate how fast I take the curves on the mountain. And so that is when it might be because they're afraid we're going to fall off the mountain. And then the other thing is, we got grandkids. They just get, and kids that get car sick because of my wild, crazy driving. That would probably make me a wild animal then. I'm not sure. But that's what takes place when we go up the mountain looking at the wild animals up there. Now, there was also a time Connie's parents used to snowbird down in Florida, meaning they would stay up in Illinois, northern Illinois, and as soon as it got cold, uh, and I think Connie's dad always wanted to head down in October because it started getting cold, and I think Connie's mom would, no, we're waiting until past Thanksgiving at least, and so, but they would head down to Florida. So at spring break, hey, what a great way to go to Florida because you already got people down there. You can stay with them and stuff like that. It's a little bit cheaper. And so we would go down to spring break with the kids and even the grandkids now and show them in the wild alligators along the Florida roads with those ditches that are full of water or even a pond, and show them wild alligators. We actually went to an alligator farm. They're still wild animals, but they are contained versus the ones we see along the roadside or anything like that. But I could go on and on with some stories of wild animal stories, but I'm not going to. But I will close with this funny animal story I saw this week in a video clip. Okay, it seems that there are always some people in the world who will not adhere to warning signs around wild animals or around animals, period, such as beware of dog, don't feed the bears, stay in cars at all times around buffalo and moose. I mean, there's a lot of signs that tell people how to behave around wild animals. Do not get out of your car and take photos next to the wild animals and stuff like that. Well, I saw a video clip, and this really got me rolling because it was funny because people are just kind of stupid sometimes. And so Buckingham Palace has multiple signs. Don't mess with the guards. Stay off the fence. Don't touch the horses. And a whole bunch of things of telling because they know they have huge amounts of tourists. Some are very smart. The majority are very smart. And somehow the dumb ones get caught on video. And so, and that's what this was. And so, Me personally, I love how the guards wait till the last second. They do it also in Arlington, Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, and stuff like that. Those guards, they wait till the last second to yell at the really yell at the unintelligent people and give them a huge scare. And it gives the crowd a huge laugh opportunity at the people's embarrassment because they got caught doing what they were not supposed to do. And so as I laughed at the clips and stuff, what it did, one of the areas showed the horses at Buckingham Palace defending their duties by hard bumps to the people that are coming too close to them or trying to touch their reins or touch their and pet them and all this other stuff. And so they bump them really hard. And the size of a horse head, that's a hard bump. And so it was funny to me. Sometimes they would bite at them. And with a little burr, and they, these big old lips and teeth are start coming out as they try to give the get away from me routine. And then there was one, and this really made me laugh. This couple, or maybe they weren't a couple, but it was a guy on one side of the horse and a lady on the other side of the horse. They almost boxed the horse in, really made the horse mad. And so he looks at the girl with this big old ponytail and grabs it and just jerks it. And to me, it was funny. They weren't wild horses, weren't wild animals, but it was still funny. So the question of the day, what is your wild animal encounter? Thanks for watching this episode 190 of Hello Again Wednesday Wild Animal Story. It's actually Wild Animal Stories, I guess. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Keep watching week after week. Maybe one week I'll take a week off, but keep watching week after week. Hey, it is Wednesday. If you have no church services near your area, you can join us on Facebook. I've been having some issues. In fact, I'm really hoping that it looks like my camera has stayed on this whole episode for Hello Again Wednesday. We had camera issues past couple of weeks and had to put the service on I always record it so I can, if it messes up, I can do stuff. And so we've had to do that, but you can join us on Facebook.com, Church of God Ministries, Culver City Church of God Ministries, or on our website, culvercitychurchofgod.org. .org. 10:45 Pacific time is when we start out here. You'll hear all kinds of things taking place, like such as Youth Zone. They had some cool ones that they were doing this past week. And or you can check out a church near you that you do find and attend their Bible studies. The Bible study tonight, we have like four or five teachers, four teachers and three teachers, four teachers, and usually a special guest comes on week after week, month after month at our church. And we do it via Zoom also across the nation. And I'm the one that's leading this week. I'm going to do a real hard one, I believe, and that is John 15:7, I think it is, where whatever you ask in my name, I will give you. And we're going to delve into that. And it's probably one of the hard ones, but we're going to get into it this afternoon or late this afternoon at dinner time. 5:30 Pacific time out here on the West Coast for only 1 hour. If you find a church near you, be with some friends, laugh together, eat together, meet new friends, pray together, and always be that loving human factor in church. Thanks for watching this episode of Hello Again Wednesday. Most of all, thanks for being my guest today. And go ahead and check it out if you want. I'm on Spotify, my YouTube channel, Brent Miller, What's on His Mind. Check out all that stuff. But always remember, give somebody a huge Hello Again hug, a Hello Again handshake, or a Hello Again whatever. And I will see you next Wednesday on Hello Again Wednesday. Let's see. I said it really fast. Usually I wait and drag it out. Hello Again Wednesday.
Thanks for watching or listening to this week's episode of Hello Again Wednesday with Brent Miller. Each Wednesday, you can join in as his special guest. Answer along with question of the day. Listen to life stories. Follow him on Spotify or your favorite podcast platform, on Facebook, or his YouTube channel, Brent Miller What's on His Mind. Please join him next Wednesday for another episode.